Hazards of mechanical nature. Hazards phenomena can be qualified to indicate the nature of the potential injury. Crushing and strangulation. Shearing, cutting, and limbs severing. Grabbing, winding. Engaging and dragging. Impact with fixed components. Piercing or stitching. Projection of solid or liquid components. Abrasion, scratch. Hazards of mechanical nature. Factors to be considered. The shape, cutting elements, sharp edges. The relative layout, position of moving parts. Load, mass and stability. Fall, load, mass and speed. Kinetic energy. Acceleration, mechanical resistance, rupture, bursting, bending, potential energy, spring, elastic element, gas, and liquid under pressure. Training. Factors to consider: torque, rotation, diameter, inertia, load, mass plus speed, shape, surface condition, accessibility. Example: coupling, spindle, tray, rod. Hazards of mechanical nature: impact, crushing, shearing, driving force, severing. Factors to consider: torque, rotation, size of openings, projections, distance between rotating and fixed parts, diameter, shape, accessibility. Pulley, steering wheel, fan, key, set screw, mixing arm. Dragging, driving force. Cutting, projection, dragging, driving force. Severing. Factors to consider: speed, size, accessibility, shape, surface condition, components binding, mechanical resistance. Example: boring bar, router bites, saw blade, cutting disc, dragging, driving force, cutting, burning, projection. Factors to consider: torque, rotation, inertia, load, mass plus speed, materials, cohesion, homogeneity, imbalance, distance between fixed and rotating components, accessibility. Example: chainsaw, grinding machine, grinder, dragging, driving force, shearing. Factors to consider: torque, rotation, inertia, load, mass plus speed, dimension, being loose. Example: rotary drum machine, spinner, impact, dragging, driving force, shearing. Factors to consider: torque, rotation, inertia, load, mass plus speed, dimension, being loose, accessibility. Example: blender, mixer, mincer, crushing, dragging, driving force, burning. Factors to consider: couple, inertia, load, mass plus speed, dimension, spacing, materials, temperature, shape, surface condition, accessibility. Example: gear, rack and pinion, rolling mill, cylinder, mixer, roller conveyor, printing machine, crushing, shearing, impact. Factors to consider: inertia, load, mass plus speed, power, spacing, minimum, maximum, recoil of moving components. Example: woodworking machine, press, molding machine, feed unit, shearing, severing, dragging, driving force, crushing, impact. Factors to consider: inertia, load, mass plus speed, power, spacing, minimum, maximum, accessibility. Example: sheared, press, binder, rock drilling machines, feed unit, cutting, severing. Factors to consider: cutting speed, feed speed, components shape. Example: band saw, dragging, driving force, tearing, impact. Factors to consider: torque, rotation, inertia, load, mass plus speed, diameter, shape, surface condition, accessibility. Example: Archimedean screw, spindle, chuck. Crushing, dragging, driving force, impact, tearing, severing. Factors to consider: torque, rotation, tension, dimension, power, speed, shape. Example: belt conveyor, trough conveyor, pulley and belt, chain wheel. Burns, dragging, driving force, impact, piercing. Factors to consider: inertia, load, mass plus speed, volume, temperature, materials, pressure. Example: sealing gun, grinding wheel, hydraulic line, pneumatic, nailer. Impact, projection. Factors to consider: materials, cohesion, homogeneity, unbalance, pressure, inertia, speed plus mass. Example: grinding wheel, cutting edge, cross-cutting disc.